Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Las Vegas Live. I'm your host, Adam Torres, and let me tell you, I've been waiting to get this headliner on the show for a while now. I've been working. I told George over at VegasNearMe.com, I said, come on, George, when's Vicki coming on? So I have Vicki Barbolak on the line, who she's a comedian. She's been doing this for a long time, and she's a headliner. She's been doing stuff for, let me see, how many years have you been in comedy, Vicki? Welcome to the show. Let's start there. How many years have you been in comedy?
Yeah, it's like almost 27 years, but I started when I was 40. Well, actually, 28 years. I just turned 68. Yeah, man.
Wow, I love this. What got you? Yeah. What got you into the business? Like, what was the? I love this too because I'm like, you give hope for all of those aspiring. Nobody's gonna be as good as you, but like, what got you into this?
Seriously, I was working at my parents and I had a carpet business. We started when I was 19 years old. In Oceanside, California. And so we got up to like 3 carpet stores, and I'm like, oh, well, I messed up my life. It's miserable, and I'm just going to enjoy being a mom. And then one day I, for some reason, saw an ad in the trash can in my bathroom. I picked it up out of the trash can, and it said comedy class. And I'm like, comedy class? And it was Mitzi Shore, Polly's sister. And I'm like, Liz. And I said, the only time I ever got anything was because when I would make people laugh, like I sold more carpet, or I got to go on my cousin's vacations because they wanted Vicki to entertain. And so I just knew that I could make people laugh, and maybe I could just do this. But I'd never even one time in my life been to a comedy club. I listened to comedy records all the time, but I never even thought, I didn't even know what it was like in the comedy world. I didn't know. And so I took the class, Sandy, Polly's sister.
Wait, you took the class and had never been to a comedy show, like in a comedy club yet?
One time in my life, I went on a date to the Comedy Store in Hollywood, which is bizarre.
Wow, that's a good place to be at. Shout out Comedy Store. Go ahead.
Right on. And I lived 90 miles from there, but I just gotten my first divorce, and I was dating my best friend's brother, and he took me there, and it was really neat. But I didn't think anything of it after that. That was my exposure to like live comedy. I just listened to records. I didn't know anything. But I took this class, and Sandy was completely crazy, but you know, she meant well. But she had just written a book about alien abduction language because she'd been recently abducted by aliens, and so it was hilarious. But that was like comedy class, which I think of all comedy classes might as well be crazy. But the thing was, it got me into meet some friends in San Diego. Found out what an open mic was. That's how, and I was 40, and I just loved it so much. After a few years, I told my parents, like, sell the stores, keep it for your retirement. I'm going to buy a trailer, and I did. And I was also going through a divorce, and I bought a trailer, and I moved into a little trailer with 1 bathroom with my 2 daughters, and we lived there for 11 years. And we had a great time. But we gave up a lot. I mean, I gave up a ton of money and all that, and that was just, everyone told me I shouldn't do it, and they were right, but they were wrong, and I'm so glad I did.
Man, what a story! Where do you even go with that? Like, that's absolutely amazing. And so, what is it like to like be in that moment? Like, how did you said you had a lot of fun? You had like daughters. Shout out to the daughters, the support. Like, what is that like? Because you're what you just described, that's like ultimate pursue your dream and passion, like energy. Like I don't know, not too many people willing to do that. And especially since you already had something else going that obviously paid the bills, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like even, my priest told me not to do it. It's like, it was so irresponsible that very few people could be that irresponsible, I think. But yet I broke through and walked away from all that. And even I told my ex-husband to keep the house I go, you take the house, because when the girls want to have somebody over to the house, maybe they'll be embarrassed of our trailer. It turned out within 6 months, all of their friends wanted to have their birthday parties at the trailer in the carport.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. The trailer was the place. And my daughters were amazingly supportive. They tell me they had a fun time growing up. But recently, I asked my daughter, I'm like, oh, somebody wants some pictures of you from your yearbook for something somebody was doing about me. And she goes, oh, Mom, we couldn't afford a yearbook. And I went, oh my God, we couldn't afford a yearbook.
Hmm.
So there was a lot of struggle, but yet joy. And it kind of, the idea that, and definitely, you should definitely nobody should take my path, because my path was just to get so good I wouldn't be ignored. I didn't have that business mind. I just wanted to be a really good comic. And so we really did struggle financially, and my daughters, lived on thrift store stuff. But the other thing people need to keep in mind is, in this world, I kind of think, we found that money is not the most important thing. It's lovely and it's important to be safe. And that's why I'm so glad I bought my first trailer, because I bought it for $11,000. It had 850 feet, one bathroom. We have rent control in Oceanside. So no matter what, I knew we'd have a house, we'd have a home. And then I did whatever I could on the side to make just enough money just to get the girls fed. And they both graduated college with extremely successful careers, because I always say because I was such a failure. We qualified for everything. But
what was the turning point? What was the turning point in this to where it started to you're like, okay, because there had to be some ups and downs in between, but what was that turning point where you're like, oh, this thing's going to be big?
The first thing was, I know it'd be big, but I just know that I could do it. Was Mitzi Short came into the Comedy Store in La Jolla one night, and Fred, the manager at the time, he didn't think I was that good, and he also knew I took a comedy class, and he hated that. And he was my hero in life, and I knew he didn't think much of my comedy, and he would never give me a spot. I'd have to call my daughter Emily. She was 12, and she would call in on Saturday to see if I got a spot on the Sunday open mic, because I just couldn't hear no. And she would go, "Hi, it's Vicki Barbolak," acting like she was old.
Oh my God!
Do I have a spot? And it's constantly no. And so, but Fred didn't know that for years I was working at every bar every night of the week I could, trying to get good. And so Mitzi, but every Sunday I would still come to open mic with baked goods and hang out. And Mitzi walked in one night and she saw me, and I had a little leopard dress and giant hair, and she goes, "Who's that?" And they go, "It's Vicki Barbolak." She goes, "Put her on." And so they put me on stage, and I had a great set for a little set. And she goes, and she brings me over to the booth, and she goes, "You're a reg." I'm like, I didn't even know what a regular was. Bobby Lee was there that night because he started a few years before me. I go, "Bobby Lee, what's a paid regular?" I didn't even know what a paid regular at the Comedy Store was.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then the first night I drove up to that Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard in my old Dodge Caravan. I thought, I'm a mom from Vista, and I'm driving into the comedian's parking lot at the Comedy Store. What the hell is going on?
Wow. And so what was the next step in this career? How do you get to Vegas? Talk to me about that. Where did that
Okay,
come?
then it was just a bunch of time working my buns off and not getting much appreciation from anybody in industry, because I was too old, too fat, and they already had Roseanne. Even though I was a favorite of the Comedy Store, nothing really happened until I got on America's Got Talent, and that just changed everything, because that show is mega, and I was so grateful.
And that reaches a huge demographic. So what is that like? First off, you go through the process, you're there. What was that even like for you? Because at that point, you're seasoned. But what were you? Was there some nerves there? Or?
Luckily, I was seasoned. Luckily.
Yeah.
Because it's as soon as you get off, you're out there doing an hour every day. But yeah, I'm luckily a girl that I knew, a comic that I knew, was an outside producer, and she called me one day and she goes, "Just shooting the crap," and I go, "Hey, it's just great to hear from you." She goes, "Well, I'm not calling just to talk. I'm an outside producer for AGT, and I want you to audition." I'm like, "There's no way. You're going to get fired if you bring me in. There's no way they'll take me." And she goes, "They're British." And I went, "Oh." And because British people love my wacky characters. And I'm like, well, maybe it's true. And so I went in, I auditioned in an airplane hangar in Santa Monica, all by myself in a microphone and a stand, 150 feet in a dark airplane hangar away from what I could see was 3 or 4 people.
Wow.
And I did my 2, and I remember sitting outside in my car that day, and I was by myself, and I said, I want to thank everybody who's gotten me to where I am today, and I want to be grateful, and then I'm going to go in and do my best. And then I wrote down a list of everybody that's helped me and why I'm grateful, and I walked in, and I did my little 2 minutes they told me to prepare, and they go, nothing. I didn't hear anything. And they go, "Very funny. Do you have anything else?" I go, "Yes, I do, but I prepared 2 minutes, like you said, but you're the shit. But I left in room for laughter, and you're the shittiest audience I've ever had. And then they go, okay, you're on, and basically, and then it's just a year of really hard work, hard work to come up. 2 minute sets is just really difficult, but it takes about a year to get through to the finals, and I just started embracing it and loving it, and they're wonderful people. The reason they're there, I was on season 13, and they were there 13 years because they're a well-oiled, wonderful machine that's supportive. So it just couldn't have been better or luckier. I just kept praying God would give me, like, I get to keep doing this because I was getting on in age, and I'm like, is there any way I could keep doing this? And then that happened, and it was like a miracle.
Wow, what an amazing story. And so now from AGT, is that how you landed in Vegas? Like, talk to me about that piece.
Yeah, so Simon Cowell, one of the guys, he took me to this very big agent who is huge and in the music world, Larry Rudolph. And so he brought me into Caesars, and then they talked to people at Caesars, and like I'd never dreamed that I'd get the Kimmel room, but that's where I ended up. And so I got in the Kimmel this about 4 years ago, Lou. Yeah, 3.5 years ago. So I've been there for 3.5 years, and I travel all over the country and just doing what I've dreamed I could do. I'm 68 years old.
What an amazing story. And that's why, and I was looking at this and I'm like, wow, like to be able to do this, to be able to grow, like when's the next time, like talk a little bit more about the Vegas side of things, Las Vegas Live. I want my audience to definitely go and check you out. Like what's the upcoming shows? Like give us some of the flavor.
The show's every Wednesday at 7:30, and we have a happy hour at 6:30 at Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club, and we have drink specials, and then I also have a photo booth, and if you put on trailer clothing, you get $3 off your food and drink, which is like, it's a crazy show. We have a trivia game during the show. It's not like a regular comedy show. It's like a party, and it's every Wednesday at the club, and it's just so much fun, and we have a lot of locals that come out, which blows my mind because I know they don't like to come to that area, but we have a good parking lot, and yeah, it's just really fun.
You're talking my language, the Las Vegas Live language. They want to know, how do I get to the show? Is the party was like what's that? So this is. It sounds to me like you're hitting both audiences here. I got two different audiences. One are the locals that are like, all right, Adam, what should I be going out to? Then the other ones are the tourists that are in town, like, hey, I kind of want to see something a little bit different. I want to see something new. Like, well, what's the inside scoop on what's to do? It sounds like they need to be at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club to check you out on Wednesdays.
They do, and because they listen to your show, locals know how to get comps. We know that. We can lay that down. But tourists, I also offer my happy hour bar thing half an hour before the show. We get 2-for-1 tickets to walk up for tourists. So I mean that's a big deal. And then if you take your picture, I give you $3 off your food or drink item, and then we have $6 high-end wine. Nobody offers. And then if you don't like that, I'll squirt some of my boxed wine into your mouth directly.
Oh, my gosh. Hold on, is this true trailer park diva fashion or what?
Yes, it is. That's all it is, Adam. Trailer park trophy wife.
Oh, that's it. Trailer park trophy wife. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I love this, Vicki.
But the main thing is Vegas.
Yeah. I love it too, and hence VegasNearMe in George over there. So if everybody could definitely check out tickets and whatnot on VegasNearMe.com.
VegasNearMe saves my life, saves my family's life, my friend's life. That is the most fantastic thing. It's the best website ever. I mean, it's the best app ever because it's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Okay, can I just do one more plug?
Absolutely, go for it.
Opportunity Village in Las Vegas is one of my favorite things. It's for a neurodiverse community, and it's like one of the greatest neurodiverse communities ever. And I'm going to be doing, we're Jimmy Kimmel sponsoring a comedy show for them. So I'm going to be putting all that information on my website, VickiBarbolakComedy.com. But for locals, I mean, it's going to be upcoming in March, and they're just solidifying the date right now. But it's going to be a really special fundraiser with all the headliners. We're coming together from Jimmy Kimmel to support Opportunity Village in Las Vegas.
All right, and that brings us to this week's top 10 things to do in Vegas, and this list is sponsored by VegasNearMe.com. As you know, VegasNearMe.com makes it easy to grab your tickets and find out what's going on in Las Vegas. Number 10, Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. All right, this is a giant immersive experience where the venue itself is important. The visuals wrap your entire field of view, and the sound design makes you feel like you are inside the story. The showtimes make it easy to use as a daytime wow between bigger nighttime plans. It's also a great option for mixed groups where not everyone wants the same kind of nightlife. Let's go on to number 9. Number 9, I like this one. Foreigner, The Hits, 50th anniversary. This is the classic rock crowd's big Vegas week pick. Foreigner in a room like the Venetian Theater is built for big sing-alongs, clean sound, and that multi-generational crowd where everyone knows the chorus. The multi-night run makes it easy and flexible for visitors. If your schedule gets packed with convention dinners or friends arriving late, you have options to fit it in on a night that works best. When? It'll be on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 8 p.m., where? At the Venetian Theater, and typical showtime runs between 90 and 110 minutes. Okay, number 8, WCC basketball tournament. College Tournament Week is one of the most underrated locals plus visitors wins in Las Vegas. You get fan bases traveling in, bracket pressure building, and that feeling that the entire week is turning into March Madness. This week, it's a strong Monday and Tuesday play. It's a way to make the start of the week feel like the weekend. And if you're in town early for HIMSS or another convention, this is an easy, fun night out that does not require a late night. Number 7, WAC basketball tournament. So WAC Vegas. If you want to lean into March in Vegas, WAC Vegas is a great value play. Tournament basketball has that postseason edge, short runs, big momentum swings, and every possession matters. It's an easy daytime major event. You can catch a session, grab dinner, and still make a headline show at night. For visitors here for conferences, it's a perfect way to do something big without needing a late night schedule. When? It'll be on Wednesday, March 11th, multiple sessions throughout the week, where the venue's going to be Orleans Arena. Typical length, 2.5 hours per game session. Number 6, Vegas Golden Knights home games. When the Knights are home, the Strip feels louder. T-Mobile Arena is built for big moments, and Knights games feel like a full Vegas production. Music, lights, crowd energy, and fast action that never slows down. Number 5, big conventions this week, HIMSS 26 and other major conferences. This is a major convention week, and that changes the whole rhythm of the city. Restaurants book up earlier, rides share surge, and nightlife gets a midweek boost. The headline event is HIMSS 26, a global healthcare technology conference focused on digital transformation, AI, cybersecurity, and the future of hospital operations. This will take place Monday through Thursday, and it's going to be at the Venetian Convention and Expo Center, and then this is a multi-day conference. Number 4, UFC Fight Night live at UFC Apex. UFC in Las Vegas is a must for fight fans, and the Apex is the hardcore version of Fight Week. It is smaller, louder, and closer. You feel the action in a way you do not get in big arenas. Why this week? A Saturday afternoon card is the perfect schedule. You can make it the centerpiece of your Saturday and go straight to dinner and have a full Vegas night afterward. Number 3, Millennium. Live at Sphere. Sphere is at its best when it's live, and Millennium is built for that kind of emotional, cinematic EDM. This is not a normal concert. It's a full sensory show. Huge sound, huge visuals, and a crowd that stays locked in for every build and drop. Why this week? Thursday night is the start of the weekend early play. If you're arriving on Thursday, this is a statement first night. If you're local, it's the kind of show that feels special because you are seeing a top artist in one of the most advanced venues in the world. Number 2, Jennifer Lopez Up All Night Residency. J-Lo in the Coliseum is classic Las Vegas headline entertainment. You get a full pop spectacle, hits, choreography, wardrobe changes, and that polished residency production where every beat is designed for the room. Why this week? Pairing a major residency with a massive arena concert in the same weekend gives visitors options and gives locals an easy big night out choice. And the Coliseum is also a venue where the sight lines are strong across the room, so it's a great pick for groups. When? It'll be Friday, March 15th at 8 p.m., where the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, and typical length of show is 90 minutes. All right, that brings us to number 1, Peso Pluma. Start with the biggest arena night of the week. Peso Pluma is one of the most in-demand global artists right now. When he hits Vegas, the energy is immediate. This is the kind of show where the crowd is part of the performance. It's loud, it's non-stopped, and fully dialed in from the first track. Why this week? A Friday night arena concert is the easiest anchor event for both visitors and locals. If you're visiting for the weekend, this is a perfect main event. If you live here, it's the kind of night that feels like a mini vacation without leaving town. Okay, and that rounds out our list of the top 10 things to do in Las Vegas. Again, if you do not know where to grab these tickets, then you haven't been listening to this show long enough. It's VegasNearMe.com. That's our sponsor, which we do appreciate. We want you to go to VegasNearMe.com, pick up your tickets, do your shopping around, but that's the site I go to. That's all for this week. I'm your host, Adam Torres. I will see you next week for the top 10 things to do in Las Vegas.